YouTube fam? Hope you all enjoying yourself. Oh man, it's been a morning. Well, a day. Well, yeah. Clean the house, fell asleep on the deck, and now I'm talking to y'all. Woo! Excitement. Well, it's technically time for me to do some back testing. I am going to watch The Witcher in a little bit, but first, let's look at the charts. I'm interested to take a look at NQ and the price action, and I'm so excited because ICT had his space and he was talking to his son, but as always, there's always some good gems in there for us too. And man, I'm so grateful. Especially when it comes to me and my stop loss management. And he basically said, put the stop loss where it needs to be. He has about three PD arrays that he looks at between the price, his entry price and the stop loss that would give him a reason to get out of the trade if he's wrong. And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm over here thinking it needs to be as tight as possible and trying to figure out how to like not get stopped out all the time. And there we go. I'm also switching to trade NQ because for realsies, that is currently more profitable than and yes, that doesn't mean I won't switch back and forth between the two, but for right now I'm gonna be practicing mainly on NQ. All right, so let's take a look at let's look at some price action and do some back testing. I'm going tiny. All right, so it's my NQ. My NQ from Friday, non-farm payroll action was pretty, you know, IC gave us a protocol for if you were to trade non-farm payroll, how to trade it, right? So depending on what they do first, right? So in this case, they came and took sell side out first, which then, per the protocol, says that they'll most likely go up and take out buy side and then continue back in the direction that they want to go, which is down. So I mean, um, for a quick hit here, they took it out, then came and took the buy side out, and then dropped again. So look at that beautiful double opportunities to do all of that good stuff, all that good. And then they came back up at the 10 o'clock time frame, which actually about 11 is when I got tagged in because I was testing out the ICT Reaper, which netted me about 225. It mostly came out to about 400, but I was about to get a call, so I closed it. So actually, it's a good thing because they went up even higher. So I ended up with a little bit off of that transaction on Friday, the one trade I took. I didn't trade on Thursday, and then these guys were tests on NQ with my stop loss and got out before I got kicked in the teeth. So I'm still in that break even. Well, I'm still in drawdown and not falling too far down. I did get close though. Like I got to 16,077.50 right there on the 8th, where I did was it micros? No, two trades and then some other ones that weren't very good. So I figured we'll go back and take a look at the week's progress and see how we could have done it. I am going to pop open the back testing for AQ. And let's move that. Let's go to let's go from Friday onward. Now the protocol for non-farm payroll, and if we take let's back up. Let's look at the monthly. Stay at all for a second. So we'd have to look at the NQ one to get the full picture of where we are. So we're hanging out at this bearish order block right here on the monthly. And we're currently what looks like consolidating from the weekly. So we'll see what it does. There is all of this juiciness to dig into, fair value gap wise. Lots of fun to come down to. I don't know if there's more to play with on the, is that the highest it's ever been then? Is this the highest it's ever been ever? Hmm. Since 99? Oh, okay. So maybe once we get past here, it's like the sky's the limit, right? So let's go to weekly. So for the weekly, we're technically just consolidating, digging into this weekly um, fair value gap here, and this uh, bullish order block. So I'm just gonna note this right here as if let's just do our own thing for the moment. Let's go orange. So let's go weekly FEG. Zoom in here. Make sure I have it right. Okay, so we just busted through that. We're starting to get in here. On a weekly perspective, I needed to shift below here for it to be a proper shift. Things that are draws that we tapped into is this fair value gap. We tapped it. It's kind of annoying that you can't see this price action on the monthly contracts because it would be nice. Because that would help, right? It would help us to know what the heck is going on. Let's make that green. Let's drop down to the daily on this one. So that's where we ran up into. And then other things to note. So we have this volume imbalance right here for them to reach back up into. They tapped a little bit into this fair value gap right here on the daily, and now we're hanging out. They reached this volume imbalance, drop below it, and now we're currently enjoying digging into this fair value gap right here. The things I'm going to put on here, this is more for practice. Get used to doing it. So things that I'm going to be paying close attention to. So daily volume imbalance inside and put that to the right. And that's fine. Okay. Now we have this volume imbalance right on top of it. Well, that's something. All right, maybe what we do, since we're gonna do Friday, Thursday, and go backwards, let's temporarily use this one here. For Friday. And then they have this fair value gap up here. So I'm just gonna note all right, so let's see how we could have traded Friday. Let's drop down to 1 hour. And let's do replay and let's get to the AM session, right? All right, so 8:30, 15 minutes. All right, what do we have? Well, higher high, traded through. Trying to have like a mitigation block right here. Eh, higher high, traded through. Rolled up above that. What are we trading to? So, what do we have? We had a fair value gap in the premium up here on the 15 minutes. And I still need to figure out how to trade like these just precipitous drops in um in price, like how to anticipate them, understand them, all that good stuff. It's really strange to me. All right, so non-farm payroll came out 8:30 and sell sides that were obvious considerations. There's one here. And then one right there, which I'm going to assume is this one since it's lower than it. So two sell sides to consider. I didn't know if they would stop at this one and continue. I figured the rest of the day they'd come in for this. Oh no, the sun's trying to find me. No, it's all right. And then buy side was up here. So prepping before the 10 o'clock hour. All right. So for 8:30, they tapped this, took that out, and then 9:30 ran up and took buy side. So then what was left? Right? 9:45. Let's drop on to the 5 minutes. Right. So I'm thinking about it. This is what I was thinking, right? So they took sell side, then they took buy side. Per the protocol, about this time you could have probably, if they had like a shift here, let's take a look at the 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Mm. But if you're more adventurous than me, you got to 5 minutes. Once they took this and they took that, you could have taken a short here to at least come back down to here. Maybe they'll take this low out again, something like that. Now I'm thinking to myself, and this is a scenario where I see said that breakers will work very well, right? But I was wondering if the repurb might work. So we had a higher high traded through, and this portion of the fair value gap is in the inversion is in a premium. So my plan was for a short from about here. Not to mention it was at like a 0.275 of like the daily fair value gap. And then, write it back down to there or something like that. With a stop above this guy. So I was thinking, I think it was what a 60 tick stop or something like that. Now, there's also a fair value gap in here, so I figured they'd fill that in too. So I wanted to get an entry right about there. The 0.25 price point, hold on. Let me make sure I grab that really quickly. That was at, and there's a new week opening gap, right? 15, 15, 545, 75. Okay. Okay, so I had an entry here and like a stop above there. So I think they'll come back up in here. So I gave myself a little room. So it's 950. And I'm also thinking to myself, like, I can probably ride this back up this way and then, be perfectly happy with whatever happens here. So let's see how we could have done that since I'm expecting them to come back up, right? Let's see. The 1 minute, right? So we have this order block right here. Still thinking they're all right. All right. So they've going to take this low out, or they're back at the original area. All right, they took that low out. So it's now a little after 10. We've taken that out, and we're well into a nice little discount to come back up. My general expectation is something up here for a short, but I've been thinking about what could I have done better to get like the long at this point. So we're climbing up. Maybe if they take this out, get like a shift. All right, so we have a shift here. All right, so we close up to 2 minutes. All right, so could we have gotten like a fair value gap? No, that's too ambitious to ride it back up to where I want to take this other entry. That's what I'm curious about. Because that's juicy, right? That's juicy. So let's zoom in on this price action here. So we just rolled, well, let's see, that's just a smidge lower. So short-term high, not the best. We'll come in here. We've got nothing there, nothing there. So maybe if there's a fair value gap that forms up here somewhere. Let's see. All right, so one did form. So let's see if we got an entry here. And let's have something below this candle. It comes back down. Oh, let's see. Would we have gotten that? Let's zoom in tight on that. Oh man, they even come. It did not. Look at that. Did not offer us the opportunity. I wonder if this is one of those situations where I need to realize that maybe don't wait for this and go for this instead, right? Let's see. All right, so let's say we've just learned that lesson. We're going to come back this way and we're going to do this instead. And then we're going to be below this, right? Okay. So that when this thing pops down, we're going to buy it. All right. Semi-decent place. All right, cool. Holy crap. This is NQ, so this thing moves much nicer. All right, so because it is a shift and a fair value gap formed, so maybe I'm wrong and it does give us an opportunity to get in where we wanted to get in. Let's see. Ooh, it does. Patience is a virtue, right? Okay, so no need for that. We wait here. Okay, all right. Oh, and we would have been stopped out with a vengeance right there. So I'm going to flatten, right? So, okay. So what does that look like on a 5 minute? Oh, sorry. It's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Does it make its way here? It does. There's nothing there, nothing there. So this order block right here, I'm gonna assume something about the wick. All right. Okay. So I'm curious about the lower time frames. There's something down here I wasn't aware of. So, wow, in the 30 seconds, there's an obvious shift. There's an order block right here with nothing on. All right, so I could have been like there on the 15, on the 30, sorry. And on the 15, So that 30-second would have been more than enough. Shift. Oh, but wait. What did I miss again? Low, lower, low, traded through. Had a breaker right here. Would you look at that? All right, so this is just so I feel good about myself here. So if I were to wait for the breaker, the top of the breaker, which is right about there, and then have a stop below the breaker, which is also below there. Nice. All right, we're already at 340, but this is NQ, right? So what are we thinking about when it leaves this area? I'm thinking like when it breaks through this, where are we going? I wanted something to coincide. All right, so let's not be greedy. Let's go for, wow, that would be a lot. Let's see what that looks like. Zoom in. All right. All right. Now the question is, it's only 30 seconds. Let's go back to like the 1 minute. Like what PD arrays are in our way, right? We just have this order block. So if price busts below this low for me, then I would close it and not wait for it to so this is my line in the sand, basically, right here. If we close a candle below here, then I would not hold this. Okay, all right, so already more than I've ever made on this one. Cool. All right, we're inside this volume imbalance. No, if I'm being honest with you, this halfway point is more than enough. I know I'm expecting it to come up here, but there's a lot of me that doesn't want to give up a lot, you know, like that. Like this is the moment where I feel like we're giving up. I'm giving up money, right? And I don't like that feeling. But I'm expecting it to crawl back up. Well, we know it does. So maybe when it gets to the top of this thing, the halfway point here, you know, let's see. Gotta get comfortable with these fluctuations. Like for me, I need to stay inside this volume imbalance. Behave here, take out this top, move my stop. I would be like, oh my goodness. So then my stop would be like right under here. And we've already hit the halfway point, and I would just flatten there. We know it's going up, but that would be more than enough for one trade for me. All right, so let's take a closer look here. So on the 1 minute, we have the shift. They come back down, this fair value gap, and basically through this order block and that one, but you couldn't really see anything until we dropped down to about 30 seconds where the structure is very clear with the breaker right here with the order block, which is always beautiful because I would have put my entry right there and just waited for that and then have my stop be even tighter like that. Because because bullish breaker, order block, no fair value gaps below here. So there's no reason for them to come back down. Especially since they've already taken sell side over here. So that would have been nice. All right, so that's one piece of the puzzle that I was looking at, wondering about. So let's see what happens when they roll back up here. That's at 5 minutes. What time is it? 10:40 there. So I have my limit order set, and they tapped it right here inside of this. And I was wondering about this being a Reaper. It probably isn't, because I was wondering because there's so much of it. It's such a big one. Balanced price range though. So for this one, I had a short entry in with a stop, and it dropped. It dropped, and that was a nice $400. But then it started to, I had a meeting, so I had to close it out. So started to exhibit, and I put my stop about 23 ticks in. Let's see. Probably wouldn't have gotten stopped out. I wouldn't, it plopped back down a little bit more, which is nice. And it was respecting this order block, because I would have wanted, from a hit here, I would have wanted it to fall out of bed, just be done. But the timing was wrong. This is at 11 o'clock. Nothing going on at 11 o'clock. We're just meandering about doing what we do, you know? And on the 5 minutes, because I closed it, I think, on as it was doing stuff on this candle. And then the good thing too, because what? So they made relative equal highs here and dug further into this. And I didn't realize this 50-minute fair value gap lived there. Not to mention, we scroll this way. Do you believe there's a 1 hour order block up here too? So they dug further up. I looked over, I was like, oh, I'm glad I dealt with that. So they took this high out. I don't know if they do. So we have the rejection block right here. But consequent question, that wick is where they seem to be hanging out. What time is it? Now we're at 11:50. So now we can start thinking about the lunchtime macro, 11:50 to 12. So I'm going to drop down. What's that? 3, 2, 1. Right. So on the 1 minute, it's gone further than I expected it to. It's inside of this thing. It's about 11:54 inside of this macro. So I've been looking for something to tell me that we going down in yelling timber. How it's behaving at this fair value gap. We're at the base of it. I need a shift. Right now. Okay. Got a little shifty there. Nothing to write home about. But it is slowly going in this direction, but we haven't taken this low out. So on the 5 minute, and don't, okay, so on the 5 minute, this looks like just dog poop. That is an obvious, we need to get up out of here. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. So didn't take this high out, which is a nice indication that potentially we're continuing back down. We just fell out of bed and we might just be dropping. Now, had I stayed on the 1 minute, would we have had, just besides the fact that this was respecting the low of this fair value gap as a entry, would we have something to play with? So let's keep watching on the 1 minute, because I would have preferred them to come back up to this fair value gap. So let's see. We've had a nice little shift. Let's see if we can get a short. You know what? We've been learning some things. No, just be patient. Let's see. All right, yeah, something like that. Let's calm down. Back. Let's make our way. No, it's for the PM. I'm expecting them to continue on down. Right. That's a lot of ticks. That would be amazing. All right, so something like that. Let's see. Do they give us any opportunities for that? And let's zoom in tight, because sometimes you just can't see things. Oh my God, look at that. The tiny volume imbalance right here that they just rolled back up into. I'm going to be a risk taker and take an entry from here with a stop above that. So that, all right, let's see. Give us more of an opportunity. All right, you do jump into that fair value gap quite liberally. Ooh, so this order block right here is where it's at. So my stop since I'm being crazy, needs to be above here. So if we do anything here, then okay. All right. So okay. So it would have been perfectly okay for me to take something from this fair value gap. All right. All right. See how we do. I wanted to respect this thing and continue downwards. What time is it? 12:22. Okay. Ooh, I'm about to, so no, this is a scenario where I feel like I need to get out. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna flatten and take my lick, and yeah. See, that's a scenario where I know I'm wrong and I need to get out. So that candle was very big and obvious. Get the hell out. So I just gave away stuff, so I wouldn't be trading anymore today. So wow. So where have they gone? All right, so they've gone to this order block, uh, this propulsion block actually. Let's see. Now, if they make it halfway through this propulsion block, then they continuing up. Otherwise, they gonna continue back down. And maybe I can get something else out of this thing, but honestly, I probably wouldn't have traded again this day with that first trade, just because. All right, let's give this a different color. Got yellow, sickly yellow, right? So let's just call this a propulsion block. And what I want to know is if they're going to try and dig past the halfway point of this propulsion block. All right, let's go back to the 1 minute. Got my ass handed to me there. Okay. Lunchtime hour and I are not friends. Okay, so we're digging into the propulsion block, about halfway is around there approximately. Okay. We actually have support. Survey gap. Time is it? 12:34. Yeah, I would be eating lunch at this point, so I wouldn't even have been trading this, but see what's going on here. So we're digging up. Great. So we're respecting about the halfway point of that thing. Ooh, and then I lied. Okay. Wow, they dug that far up in there? I had no idea, honestly. Okay. Let's see what this looks like on the 5 minute. 12:45. That's all kinds of mean. So this is like just a nice dig up. Let's go to the 1 hour because let's see where the hell they're going. So ignoring the propulsion block, but this is a 1 hour order, bearish order block. Let's change that out. And we're wicking. We're currently enjoying some wicking. So higher time frame is our friend, is our best friend. So I just want to see where consequent approachment is. So we just hit consequent approachment, that wick on the 1 hour. Okay, let's see how they behave around that. Let's drop back to the 5 minutes. Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, no, this bee bit me. Oh, that was fun. Dang thing bit me. Went to go get some ice and washed off. Man, that stinks. It was like coming at me and then it got stuck. I guess when I put my hand here, it was stuck sitting here and then it bit me while it was stuck. Dang, that sucked. Anyway, let's continue. All right, so we're on the 5 minute. We're in this 1 hour order block, consumer encroachment. See what's going on here. Actually, doing anything here on the 5 minute makes no blasted sense. There's no shift. Just realized it. It's literally no shift, so lost that money for no good reason. All right. All right, we'll wait for like after 1 o'clock and see what would happen. Now that's a nice decisive looking candle. That's definitely a shift in structure. Woo! It's nice. Now, we'll zoom out here on 15 minutes. See what the heck we're doing with our lives. I traded through. All right. Just realize. So this is how I get into trouble sometimes with trades. Like, I need to be zoomed out to recognize when a proper shift occurs. Because look here, right? A nice shift, fair value gap. They came back into that gap and then took off again. So, yeah. 5 minute needs to be the bellwether. That is a short-term low that they just shifted out of. So let's see. Is it time for them to go down? Let's see. Now, premium discount is a thing, right? So, and timing. So let's see. Right above that with the order block, and then something above that, and then we going down, I'm yelling timber, like that, something like that. All right. So that would put us in a premium state. After a nice proper shift on the 5 minutes, let's drop down to take a look. 4, 3, 2, and 1. It really is so much clearer on the higher time frames, isn't it? Hmm. So we do have a higher high shifted through. So we do technically have a bearish breaker right here. So understanding that, just wonder if at the time I would have known that, you know? So let's see what's in between, any order blocks in between all of that. So the one that I want to use is here. There's one here, but there's a little fair value gap above it. So yeah, see. There's also the fair value gap we're already in on the 15 minute, so in 2 minutes. All right. Other thing that could, the thing is, I also want to make sure that we're in a discount when a premium when they come up. So if I were to do that, let's see, they give us the opportunity. So that's a no on the opportunity. Time is it? 12:30, 12 something. So still, so what do we have now? So we have 1:36. So lunchtime high is up here. So this would be new short-term buy side for me. And it's the 1 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah. So It's one of those situations I didn't bother to switch back up. So that was 5 minutes. It's one of those situations where, I wouldn't know where to enter. Not yet, anyway. I would have to have plenty of time. We also have another shift here. All right, so that option is dust. We're continuing down on the price leg, so the next potential opportunity, if it comes back up, let's look at this on the 1 minute. If it comes back up, would be approximately right up here with a stop above that. Because at this point, you don't expect it to go back up to this fair value gap. But this order block right here, let's see. This is a propulsion block. It's a propulsion block. It's probably not going to continue too far up. So let's see. What is our premium? All right. So right about there. All right. Let's see if they come back up this way. All right. So they just hit the halfway point. Doesn't look like they're going to make it back up there. All right. Maybe I'm wrong. We're respecting the halfway point coming up. All right. This is where I'm going to sell right here. Okay. With a stop up there. And now, assuming I'm not wrong, I'm about to lose all my good gains. I want to see where they're going to go from here. So I'm going to estimate back down at least at minimum to this guy. That's still a lot of cheddar right there, y'all. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of ched. Let's see. All right. All right. Beautiful. Honestly, as a newbie, that halfway point right there is perfectly acceptable. You know what? I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit. I'm going to take it. All right, we about to hit 1. Let's see. Hold on. Where does 2 coincide with? All right, so we'll go through this volume imbalance, whatever. But I mean, let's flatten that and take your money. Take your money. Take your money. Okay. All right, so what did I do wrong? Here there was a shift, but not on the higher time frame. Like this actually had a proper shift on the higher time frame. This one did not. There's no short-term low here for them to shift through. No short-term low they've taken here. And then once they took here, what did I miss? Let's take a look. High, higher high, traded through right here. Let's do that. And let's see. So high, higher high. This is just the part of that leg. Traded through right here. That means we had a bearish breaker right there that I didn't even notice. Isn't that funny? So many things did not even notice. This is at 145 for this entry. Beautiful. And let's see, on the 4, yeah. So on the 4 minute, there's a fair value gap right there with the order block. Nice. Inside of that, this order block, don't care much about that. 3, because they've already shifted past this area. 2, 1. Oh my goodness. It's awesome. Oh, that bite hurt like right as got me. Anyway, so that would have been a nice haul. But, if I was as observant, but as we see, we're not as observant. So right now between the 15 and the 5 minutes, these are the bellwethers and they need to be handled. Now this going down, I'm expecting it to continue on down, but it's non-farm payroll Friday and I'm perfectly happy with taking what I need and I would be done right there. Okay. Let's take a look at Thursday. All right. The day before. So things that I'm going to get rid of, that, that, that. We'll do one more day and then I'm going to close because I need to go lick my poor little wounds. My poor little wounds. Okay. Let's do Thursday here. Let's do this day. I did not trade it on purpose, but per the protocol, let's see what we could have done on Thursday. And let's do this for the AM session. All right. So technically, buy side's up here. If I was doing anything, let's do a little work here. Sell side is right here from the London session. Great. And we have this guy. And we are at, so 9:30 is trying to tell us we going up, right? So got a higher traded through. Well, this around here. This breaker's already done its job. Doesn't mean I can't refer to it again. So what have we done? So 9:30, we're at the volume imbalance. We're at this order block right here. Okay, let's go to the 5-minute. So with this, I'm expecting a return in the opposite direction. If not, it'll continue up and then that'll just confirm the bullish bias. Whoa, isn't that cool? All right, so what are we doing? So trade it, well, technically, high. We're going to stretch it on the 5-minute. Let's see. We've got a higher high traded through. I mean, let's see if I'm seeing these things right. So we've got a bearish breaker right here. We've got propulsion block right here. And there's this inversion fair value gap. Yes, I know, so many charts. So many charts. I don't care as long as it does the job. Know what I mean? As long as it does the job. So we have an inversion fair value gap inside this break. I want to see how it behaves there. Right? So let's see. All right. 10 o'clock just started, so I'm going to do this. So look at the bodies. They're just doing all this damage. But the bodies, man, the bodies are outside of this thing. So, whoa. All right. So now we're cooking with some Crisco. All right. So I'd love to take a short from about here with a stop. Something like that to take out the sell side right there. All right. Let's see. It's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's try and do this on the 2-minute. All right, so from the 5 minutes, from the 2-minute, we have this fair value gap here. Let's see if we can't get back here. Actually, don't know. Let's get another candle. All right, cool. So I'm gonna just sell here with a stop. Actually, this is where I should have sold. Sorry, that means my stop needs to be up here. That's a lot, so let's see. Gotta watch it. So we're going down to that sell side. So that's all we're doing. We need to take out this low and I'll feel good about it. All right, we good. My stop loss would be right above here. Just gonna let it. Oh man, I could have easily traded this. Hindsight is is a beautiful thing, right? All right, so if we do this, sorry. Where did I want to get out of this lower area here? Yeah, so I'm just gonna come down here. Take that off. So that's a lot already, for me. And then there's a potential. Is that the one on this thing? I wouldn't want to give up too much, but let's see. We're expecting it to come down this way, so 1.5. Ooh, retracements, may don't like it. Well, let's see how far up it can potentially come, right? That's the point in the halfway mark. Oh, that's wrong. Giving away all my money at this point. Are we serious right now? Ugh, that's just mean. This is when you need to just cut your losses, right? Now, me and this order block, we would have been besties, but for these testing purposes, if I'm being stupid, still think it's going down. And this is just a scare tactic, which currently shift. Let's see. I need this to become an inversion fair value gap. Oof. Oh no. All of my money. Yeah. So I would have ended this anyway a long time ago, but it's good to see what's up. And we know our stop loss is like all the way up there, but giving away all of that money just seems really dumb. Look at this. Look at this. Like nobody would do this. Like the moment it starts running away from you, you've been done. But anyway, I gotta learn to be better about taking what I'm supposed to take, which I didn't do in this scenario. And obviously that's rolling up because that's a higher low. Come on. So just to make myself feel better, we're gonna do that again. And we're gonna learn to do better. We're gonna teach ourselves to take what's been given and be happy. All right? That's what we're gonna do. Now, we didn't aim. We should do some aiming. This is the low. High and the low. All right. So let's do a short. Where do I see the fair value gap? So 2 minutes. Okay. Right. So let's. This is where, it's okay for me to feel good about stuff, Just something like that. Let's do a short and let's aim for this order block could be good. All right. Let's see. All right. So we sell right there again. Let's do this one more time and do better. Because that's what we're here to do, is become better. Okay. Because that's a stupid plan, right? So once it hits this guy, we outie. All right. So that's where we flatten and we take our $1,000 and we be happy. None of this waiting. What time is it anyway? 10:24. And then I'd be good. It's a good trade. And be happy there. Now, back to the 5 minutes. Let's do this. Like, wait, we didn't take this low out? What? We came to this order block and just turned? No, no way. What does that look like? And we just digging our way back up. Just digging our way back up. Yeah. I wouldn't have been able to catch that, but the drop, the first drop to that order block. Low hanging fruit, man. Low hanging fruit. If the aim is here, but if you start to see them acting stupid, I mean, there's literally nothing wrong with dipping. Mm-mm. All right, let's look at the afternoon. So this is this. I'm not doing any lunchtime anything. I'm eating. I'm relaxing. I'm eating. I'm relaxing. Eating and relaxing. So I want to see when. Oof, we dug right up to that buy side. Look at that. We forgot the buy side. 1240. All right, so we on to the PM lights. 1:30 just rolled in. So we've been going up. Fair value gap. I would like this to become an inversion fair value gap. I want to see it drop down and come back and tap it, and then I would want to see I could take a short from here. Stop right about there. Maybe a little bit more inside of that, because I don't want to do all of that. And then, calm down. Let's see. Is that what we do? All right. So I'm looking at the bodies on the 5 minutes on this fair value gap. Like I'm watching how they behave here. Nice. Okay, well, look at that. Now, question becomes, do we get a chance for an entry? Right about there. Oh, whoa, 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 wow. Held down. Sorry, it pressed play without me. All right, so we made no, we took that low out. So for a short, it's after 2 o'clock here. This inversion fair value gap, beautiful. Smack dab right here. This guy is so close to this guy. I'm going to assume something like this would be in order, and I'll have a nice juicy stop above that to take out those lows. Okay, let's see. So I'm expecting them to come back up. All right, so it's 2 o'clock. We have this fair value gap that they're responding to, and you could potentially ride that up for a little bit too, which I find I'm not opposed to, right? So, well, stop at the order block is a better choice. We'll stop below the order block like that. Just curious to see how many ticks that would get us if you were to just write it back up to, yeah, well, about that order block or so approximately. Let's take a look at, I guess we can't do like limit order to test it out. Okay. All right, but let's back up. So far we've been going up. I don't know why I'm so stuck on a short. Probably because I got the first short. Okay, I replayed and faked and did some stuff, but we did have a nice shift. We did take this low out. We have a higher high, traded through. So now we technically have a breaker right in this vicinity, right here. And do we have a fair value gap up here? That's a no, right? So let's see, 4, 3, 2, and 1. It's really just this thing right here where I'm looking for the actual entry. So let's see, could we have gotten an entry here? We have a low, lower low, traded through. So we have this bullish breaker. Should have been right there. Gonna stop below the breaker. And actually inside of the breaker, we have this order block. So we would have adjusted down to that guy, which overlaps with this guy. So that's not a bad idea. And then just having a stop like below that. It's not bad. And we would have gotten tagged in here. Let's see. So this behavior right here is no bueno, so I wouldn't continue there. I wouldn't have liked this. This is like an upward trend, but they're digging too deep back down. And we're inside the volume imbalance. It looks like they're respecting it. It's a big cluster, so I would have just exited this instead of like a cluster. Something I'm learning. So I'm waiting. What time is it? It's 3 o'clock. Oof. Would have missed the silver bullet, I think. So this behavior right here, beautiful. shift down, now might be a good time. If I was going to be trading after 3 o'clock, the 3:15 macro, let's see. That's a shift. All right, let's dip down into like the 4, 3, 2 minutes. Let's look at the 2 minutes. All right, so let's take a look at where it needs to come back up. All right, so 62 is about here. The fair value got back up here. So I'm going to try for the 79. Let's stop about there. I don't know if it'll give it to us. All right, rolling. All right, so we're also at this daily fair value gap. And so we might just get kicked out at the half. Still in a discount. All right, now we're in a premium. All right, so they hit that, rolled that, so we're going to continue on down, and I think now is probably the time. So, but again, we're past the time I would have wanted to take anything, so just let that go. And this is acting as resistance because we haven't gone far into premium. Then I want to take this high out and then drop. Let's see. Well, that's the case. But it's 4 o'clock, man. You need to be in this already by this point. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh my God, did some news come out at 4 o'clock that day or something? That is just mean. Wow, look at that reaction. That's a 2 minutes? Look at the 1 minute candle right there. Jeez. Oh, wow. Now, hold on. Isn't that my original desire for an entry? Would have been stopped out anyway with that wick. That's mean. That's a mean looking. Yeah, so I wouldn't even have been, once it got to 3 o'clock, I'm not looking for any more entries. Like, I'm finding that somewhere between 140, after 130 is a good spot. We had like a little bit of a short entry here into here, but nothing clean. All right. The only clean thing was the drop in the morning. It was this drop. It wasn't super clean, but it was clean enough to get us a little something, something. All right. Let's check out Wednesday. Dang, it's rough. All right. Oh, it's a weekly fair value gap. Dude, me. All right, this is the Wednesday. No, this is a day. All right, go on to the 15 minutes. And let's do that. All right. So we've been going down. So everything's been pretty on the down, down, the down, down, the down, 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 down. All right, where would you be going? So we've got this low right here as sell side, as a target. London high has already been taken, so the previous day's New York PM would be the buy side target. And what's this? Let's take that off, sorry. And not to mention, we have this gap, like a proper void on the 15 minutes. So let's do, I think it's a new day opening gap, isn't it? Yeah, so new day opening gap, sorry. 4:30, 6 o'clock, yeah. Opening range gap. So things for them to roll back up into. Let's go into the 1 hour. Take a look here. Take this off for a hot second. So, I mean, technically we've just been kind of sort of going between this and this as a range. So it's not the best. Right now we're going down. I'm yelling timber. All right, let's go to the 5 minutes, and let's look at the AM session here. All right, so 9:30, we dropped. So I'm realizing there's two things about the AM session that I need to be very well aware of. One, if the 9:30 open drops, and shows signs of turning around, it's a Judas swing, and they're favoring higher prices. If the 9:30 session is going up, but by 10, then and they're showing signs of going down, then they're favoring lower prices, at least for the next price swing. If it's a continuation trend thing, then it'll just like keep going in that direction. And you just have to recognize that it's not a Judas swing, it's just the way it is. So uh that's pretty far away. That buy side. London's there. So we technically have this internal and this internal to note. So I'm just gonna set those aside as buy side as targets. And then this one's low hanging fruit buy side. Okay. So 9:30 we dropped, and it's almost about to be 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock just hit. So I'm going to take that off for now. All right. So we just took out this. Sorry. We just took out this sell side right here. And it's always best to know where the heck we are, right? So we're at this, and let's go up to a 15-minute because the higher time frames are really great bellwethers for us to figure out what the hell. Don't telegraph it, what's going on, but we had this sell side and that one that we're expecting. And right, so all right, let's just go back to the 5-minute. So it's going down. I'm looking for any reason that is telling me we might be going up to take this buy side. So this is in 10 o'clock, and that's a definitive we going down on yelling timber. So I'm going to drop down to a 3-minute. And let's see. Do we have something here that we could potentially use and write it down there? This might be one of those freight trains that you just can't catch up with, Or I am missing something, like some fair value gap that may be holding the price down or something. I don't know. Just gonna assume. Let's see what this is. Just curious. Because Ice-T, he just like can scan the charts and just see what might be of use in that area for that price leg and what they're going to do at that space. And that's something that I'm going to need to work towards. What is this? Why is there always, like, randomly put something on the charts? Sorry, this is... Okay, let's see. So it must be the one above it then, that it's using. 5 minutes, it's fair value gap right here. Or it's this whole thing as an inversion fair value gap, maybe. Let's see. Trying to understand the price action properly. Okay, let's see. Ooh, okay, so let's see. Let's say this is going to become an inversion fair value gap. Really don't like that shade on this thing. Let's give it a different... No. No, no. No, 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 no. I like the grays. That's like a nudie opening gap for me. Alright, whatever. Let's save this as... Let's do a save as, because I don't like the other one. Let's do a conversion, save that template. All right, cool. So let's say because they were using it, yes, and ran up. Now we've broken below it. So on a 5 minutes, got this order block and this propulsion block. So let's see, do they give us an opportunity to roll back up? Okay, so what time is it? It's 10:27. All right, so now we have this guy, this order block, fair value gap. I mean, I'm not taking anything while we're not in a premium. It's just that simple. So let's see what they do. Well, this fair value gap acted as resistance, and then they dropped. And then they decided to continue digging into this thing. So, it's not a day that if you weren't already in the trade, when did they give us an opportunity to enter this? Oh, look, it's coming back up again. So they've already taken this. I'd need a shift above here for it to be doing anything. Let's look at this. Put a low, lower, low. We're about to shift through. Let's see. 2 minutes. Let's hang out on the 3 minutes for this. Are we using this as support? Again, nothing to do. Just looking at this price leg. This feels very. Let's see. This thing's acting as resistance. What time is it? 11:45. So all the opportunity for an entry. Silver bullet was right here. I have a hard time dealing with continuations. So, especially when, in my mind, it didn't even make it to a premium for this. I guess premium discount don't really, or should I be looking at it like from this price line right here? No, never made it. I guess should have been looking at is what it was doing inside of this fair value gap right here. Let's drop down to the 1 minute. Let's see. So on the 1 minute, it's at 127. It tapped it and then dropped, and then respected this one even more. Just gonna move this down here. This one right here would have been like, okay, I need to take a short here. This is the kind of thing that would, let's see, probably would have a little bit more in there. Okay, it taps the top of that again because don't want to give up too much. And then write it back down here. And let's see what the Amy would have done for us. Did we get down to 1? Nope. But half of what this right here, whoops, right, would have been enough for me because that's where, or hold on, maybe once it left here. So we got past this spot, yeah. Yeah, so there we are. 1 would have been right there. That's too close. That's the better option. And that would have been 260. Perfectly acceptable. 2 ticks above that high. Mm. Okay. But again, I would have missed all of that because I don't know how to deal with, these types of just like consistent drops. All right, so we're just going down Yelling Timber. That's So lunchtime running for liquidity. What? We're gonna come back up to the sell side here and give folks another chance. Let's see. I would be just expecting something for the afternoon or just to here. But since this is here, I just don't see why they wouldn't crawl up there because I like to, the algorithm likes to reference things, right? It didn't make it all the way up there. What time is it now? 1:45. Beautiful. So let's put on to 2 minutes. So we have all of this foolishness. So 5 minutes. We have all of this foolishness shift. And I would have wanted an entry here. But let's look at what we have in the vicinity. Propulsion block. So based on the propulsion block, would have had to get an entry at the body of the propulsion block. Like that. With a stop. It's on the 5 minute. And my stop would have had to be above this thing. So something like that. Above the propulsion block. Because if they take out the propulsion block, they're going to continue up. It's just that simple. So I'm going to cheat. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to sell here. So we're approximately where I want to be. And personally, I'm okay with to this order block right here. And then let's let that roll. All right. And then just for aiming once I leave this low right here, see, half a point's about there. Size. See if we can get all the way down there. You know what? No, I'm going to be cheap. I'm going to be cheap for now and just get the half a point. All right. So let's see. Okay. All right. We've left it. Ooh, don't like that. See, that behavior right there is behavior that would make me flatten. So I'm going to do that because I don't trust it. So now I have to consider that they might want to be going up. They take this or they're coming here for the short. So let's see if that's what they're doing. So I'll take that. Okay. See what I said? This is where I would have taken it and then, okay, I don't like the behavior, gotten out early. Let's see if they're willing to turn around from here because this is the order block. That's propulsion block. They've busted through. We still have the order block, so we'll see what they do. This is really close, though. Right? All right. So that tells me that they're turning around. So my order would have had to stay right here and wait. Let's see. Okay. So I need some kind of shift. So a shift. You're gonna leave me a little fair value gap to play with. Probably something on the 1 minute. Yeah. High, higher, high. We just shifted through it. Got a breaker right here. It's not pretty. This is not pretty. All this wicking. It's gross. But I was right about where they were going to go. So let's say I listened to myself and I waited for them to tap that and I sold from here. All right. So in terms of aiming now, it becomes, you know what? Even better. I'm anticipating this to become a breaker. So let's assume it's the high and the low of the breaker. Oh, yeah. So, aim for that half spot right there. Let's see. Is that what we get? We can't take that low out. Then, I'm moving my stop already into a nice comfy place. Don't like that. So we just made a higher low right here. So I'm, based on what I like to see, I'm going to flatten because I don't trust it. Because we just tapped this order block when we turned. It could still be going down, but I don't believe So I would just leave it alone. So I would just take that and go on about my business. Now this shift, what time is it? 3:05. That shift, that's good. Took the low out. And it's going to leave the fair value gap and not give anybody a chance. Oh, or maybe they won't. No, there it is. So from this entry, I put my stop at break even and then just see where it wants to go. But look at that. Wow. Okay. I don't like the behavior of it because once it hit here, I was expecting it to take this low and just keep going, but it didn't. So that didn't make me feel good at all. All right. Let's get the next day going. Recapping this week, right? So we did that. Let's see what's going on up here. Let's hit the replay button. What day is this? It's Tuesday. We're not doing Monday because that's BS right there. That's a day not to bother to trade. Let's go on to the 15-minute. And I deleted the market thingy. Oops. I need that for backtesting. All right. Where's the AM session? All right, hold on. No. I gotta fix it. I don't like that. Why did it keep my... All right, whatever. Let's fix it. So New York AM blue, we're gonna be 10 to 11. Get some water. New York PM. Let's also make it blue, and that's gonna be 1:30 to 3 for me because I want to see what forms before 2 o'clock. But the entry needs to be somewhere in that. And then we'll do London for aiming perspective so we know when they're doing some stuff. That's going to be from 3 to 4. Actually, let's do the whole session since 2 to 5 is the whole London session. So and that's that. And one last thing. You need to be GMT -4. Okay. All right, good. All right, so let's move this off. Let's have the AM session right here. All right, so first things first, what are we doing with our lives? All right, so London sessions, that means this is buy side right here. And then sell side, they already took. Previous day's PM session. Let's do this. And then there's also this fair value gap with a order block down there. Okay. So that's in the 15 minutes. All right. So it's been a very eventful day, huh? What is this? Why is it here? You see that black thing? Like, what is that? Must be some session thing that I added by accident. I'll fix it. And just do this, and then I'm just gonna do this. That's also buy side. Internal, external, internal, external. Right. So they have tapped into this order block right here. Inside this fair value gap quotient block. Order block is right here though. Right there. Alright. So what do we got? 7:15, 8:15, 9. Okay. So let's go on to the 5 minutes and let's take a look at what's going on at 9. Ew, this is gross. This is gross. All right, we got a low, high, traded through. So we have a breaker right here, a bearish breaker, order block. Honestly, I mean, all of this, I would be expecting a short right here and have myself a stop like that. And then we'd be coming back down. My only problem here is that right there. Let's see. Oh, perfect alignment with this 0.79, so definitely there, right? And then, you know, come down for them to take those lows out, maybe finish up this thing. So let's see. Can we get that? Order block. Nothing. All right. So this is the 9:30. There must be some news, right? I don't know. 9:55. Wow, okay. So up we come. Let's drop down to a 2 minute. Oh, look. The 1 minute is already up there. So all this Mishima right here, there's a breaker on the higher time frame. So I'm waiting for this. All right, so I sell it here. Let's see, I got it right there. All right. And I need to make sure my stop is above here with a couple ticks. So it's got to be like, let's do 80 ticks. That's $400. All right. So now I'm here. What's in the way? What is a reason for me to get up out of here before this moves, right? So I've entered here, got this order block. Oh, there's a volume imbalance right there. All right, so if we close above this volume imbalance, then I might want to take the loss and be done. Let's see. I didn't realize that, but that's what happens sometimes. You just don't notice things. There's a 5 minute volume imbalance up there, and this order block up here. So they might come all the way up there. I don't know. Let's see. Let's look at some 1 minute. All right, having already gotten into a profit, there's no way in hell I'm going to take a loss on this. So I'd be having my stop like probably right around there. At 4 something, I'm not, put my stop at break even. So I need to see this low broken. This behavior right here, no bueno. So I'd flatten and wait to see what's happening so I can like make a better decision, right? So I'm gonna just wait. And then I would have missed all of that juiciness. So the 1 minute here. So I would have gotten that entry right there beautifully. Well, I had my stop at break even and I wanted to take a little something, something, but because I didn't. All right, let's see what we would have gotten if we just been patient, right? Hey, no. The heck? All right, if I just been patient and then just let things play out. And the timing, so it's 10 o'clock. So I got a shift here at 10 o'clock. I don't care about that sell side. I'm just looking for them to take the rest of that. Oh, well, look at that. So that would have been a nice little thing. I think once I put my stop at break even, don't touch it, right? Just don't touch it. Just such a bad habit. What is this thing? Oh, is this something from this session thingy? Uh, honestly, don't know what that is, but would have to trust the higher time frame. And look at the confluences, though, right? We have the breaker on the 5 minutes, and then for the optimal trade entry, the order block and the 0.79 were like perfectly in alignment. Like, why not, right? And maybe it's better to watch it on the 5 minutes, right? Time frame. Once you're in, just like do that. And then once it leaves this area, once it gets out of that area, you can start aiming. So like the one right there, right below it. Nice. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Let's do the afternoon and then we can be done for the day. And I'm gonna go watch The Witcher. All right, let's dip into the afternoon. Oof, look at that. Choo, 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 choo. All right. It's 10:45. So would have caught that first thing of awesomeness, and then what is this? Just create adds itself. All right, so we got the 1:30 p.m. session. So we're on the 15-minute. Let's go up to the 1 hour. And what do we have up here? So we'd specified buy side this way. We seem to be crawling very uglily towards it. I'm going to put this fair value gap right here. As premium fair value gap to contend with. We've got all these wicks pointing in the upward direction. So maybe we're looking for a long to take that out. That's what that feels like to me. Let's go to 15 minutes. And this is just ugly price action and probably shouldn't even be bothered to touch it. So like we have a low, lower, low, traded through. So technically we've got a bullish breaker right here. It's a bullish breaker. And do we have fair value gap? I mean, that's starting to get to be too bright for me. All right, so bullish breaker. This is ugly. I'd probably touch it. But just since we're testing things out, curious, what? All these wicks are confusing me as to where I need to put things. We have a little bit of fair value gap in, we have a little bit of a fair value gap in the, right here. So if I were to have taken a long, it would have had to be right inside of here, probably the 0.629, which it wouldn't have gotten filled. But I don't know, something like that. That to go after that or that, basically. But let's see how they behave here. Order block right here. And we've been going down, so let's see. Because I'd be perfectly happy to write it down to the breaker. What time is it? 1:45. So we just had a shift here too. There's a low, lower low, shifted through. We also have a bullish breaker right here. So let's see. Let's go into the 5 minutes. Yeah, let's go into 5 minutes. All right, so we have this shift this way. We have a low, lower, low traded through. So we have this main breaker right here. My general desire for an entry was right here. So they're at the top of this thing. Let's see what we're dealing with here. 3 minutes. Low, lower, low trade through. So we have another breaker here, which they've broken through a little bit to tap this one, which just makes perfect sense because it's the higher time frame breaker, and it's got a lot more juice attached to it. Okay, so there's an order block right here inside of this breaker, so it wouldn't be weird. Let's see where we are in terms of tap that. So I'm gonna do this. right there. Let's see. So looks like we're continuing on up from this point. All right, so for a silver bullet then, I don't like that at all. This price action looks like bird poop. For silver bullet, maybe this area right here. Okay, so let me get out of this. So it's 205. Stands up. It's 205. And we are at this fair value gap. And so I need a reason to do anything. This thing is looking like it wants to show that we're not going up. But a shift is a better, you know, there we go. So a shift is a better method to determine what we're going to do with our lives, right? So we're leaving this area. Let's see here. All right, so again, premium discounts. See, at this point, I'm going to see what they're going to do inside of this. My preference would be for an entry about here to continue back up to, about there. Let's see. So this behavior right here, though, is a good indication that they're going to continue on up. I'm on the 5 minutes, so let's drop to like a 2 minute and see what this looks like. 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Yeah. 1 minute. I don't like it. So we need to drop below this nicely, take some lows out. There we are. Now they're coming into an area where I'm thinking about taking a long, maybe. They dropped into a discount, so that might have been the one opportunity there. Okay. And now we're turning into adduct. So the other option right now would be like this. And, write it up there, maybe about there. Maybe they're trying to make it all the way up here. I don't know. Something like that. I don't like the behavior. So I just let that go on about its business. Because none of it's decisive, right? We took some lows out here. Oh, you know what? What if it's, hold on, let's get to the 3 minute. Let's see. So what if it's so we took these lows out. High, higher high, not traded through. Okay. It's trapped inside of this fair value gap. But yeah, I wouldn't be touching that. Now, we've been waiting for them to give us an opportunity right about here. Right? So we would have bought where we said we wanted to buy right there. And then right up to that buy side right there. Ooh, not a good behavior. Okay, so if we get, so my stop, since this is my entry, we're still at the entry. My stop would be, my general expected stop at this point is about here. If we get about halfway down into this thing, I will close it out because, yeah. So let's flatten and be done with that. Because I'm wrong, obviously. So shift, return back into here, short. Let's see. Am I not wrong? What time is it? Oh, see on that last, so I'm getting tired now. On that last one, I wasn't paying attention to the time. So this was definitely the wrong time to get in here. All of this was just bullshit time distortion. And yeah. And then it just opened all the way down here for a short. All right. It's about that time for me to go watch some of The Witcher. Glad this bite's not burning still. It's great. Anyway, so happy trading to you guys. I hope you're doing well. And I'll see y'all next week. And we'll see how much better I'll get at this. I am excited. I'm learning so much. I'm happy to be taking this time to understand myself. So many different epiphanies, you know. I don't know if I would have felt as comfortable if I was trying to do this with real money. So I'm very happy that I'm taking the time to understand what the hell I'm trying to do in the first blasted place. Anyway, so drop a comment, drop a like, let me know your thoughts, how things are going with you on your journey, and enjoy the weekend. Shakira, out.